to tell me about what you've come about today?
Well, I really have a problem with my writing skills because I want to take the IELTS test, and there is a component which is writing, and this is my main problem actually, because I'm still getting the same score and there's no improvement at all. That's why I'm here today. I want you to help.
And what do you need the improved score for?
Well, I'm still stuck in 6.5 band, so I want to make it 7. So yeah, it seems really a problem for me because it doesn't change at all. I took the exam many times, but still 6.5. I don't know what's the problem with it.
Yeah.
So.
And what do you need the 7 for?
Because I'm going to go to a medical school next year.
Yeah.
So they asked me to get a 7 at least in each component of the test of the IELTS and 7.5 overall. I'm getting the others, it's okay, but the only problem is writing.
Okay. So, Fatma, tell me how you approach the writing. What do you do now?
Well, I'm just kind of practicing it. My main problem is with essay writing, task 2, because I think I have problem with sort of planning or things like that. Students always say that, and teachers, plan your answers and things. I just start writing because I don't have time to plan. Because 40 minutes, writing 250 words, seems like very difficult for me to take like 10 minutes out just to plan.
Okay, well, first of all, do you read the question, Fatma?
Yes, of course.
Do you read it carefully?
Well, yeah.
Important to read that question carefully and make sure you understand it.
Okay.
Start right, Fatma, you'll be right. So reading the question carefully first is the first step. And the next step is the plan. You do need a plan.
What do you mean by plan? I don't know.
By a plan, I mean read the question and then brainstorm some points that could be relevant. A brainstorm is when you think very quickly, just for a few minutes, you write down all the relevant points that you think might be relevant, however mad they seem. Write them down without overthinking them, without being critical, just write the points down. In an exam, you might be tempted just to rush in and begin to write your answer because you see other people writing their answers. But it's even more important in an exam to take a few moments, read that question, understand it, so you start right, and then make the plan. The first step of the plan is the brainstorm.
Okay, so you mean by brainstorming is thinking of ideas related to that particular topic?
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So what about the introduction? How can I start writing my introduction?
We don't worry about the introduction yet. We'll get the main part of the essay done first. So you've got the brainstorm. When you finish after a few minutes your brainstorm, then select the most important points from your brainstorm, the ones you think will be the most relevant to the question.
Okay.
You might need to look again at the question and just pick out a few relevant points. You don't need many, it's quality rather than quantity.
Okay, yeah.
So when you've got those, for IELTS it may just be 3 main points. 3 paragraphs may be plenty. And for each main point, build up a paragraph with reasons and explanations and examples around that point.
Oh yeah, so the first step to take is brainstorming and then selecting the ideas, the most appropriate one.
That's right.
Okay, and I'm really struggling with the conclusion.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the introduction and the conclusion.
Yeah.
They're both very important parts of the essay.
Yeah.
Normally it's better to leave the introduction until you're sure of what you're going to say in the essay. The introduction should say what you're going to do in the essay and whether you agree with the question, you disagree with it, or you're going to look at both sides of it.
Alright.
So that's why you have to be very clear how you're going to approach your essay before you do the introduction. So you do the introduction, then you have a logical progression of the paragraphs, then you come to the conclusion.
Okay.
So Are you okay with the conclusion?
Yeah, but some essays, requires you to state your opinion. So is it better to mention my opinion in the introduction or in the conclusion, or where exactly in the essay?
The opinion should be clear from the beginning.
Okay.
So your opinion should be stated in the introduction.
All right.
So when the person who reads your essay, whether that's an examiner or a teacher or another student, they know what you're starting out on. They understand your point of view from the very beginning. And then the rest of the essay explains why you have that point of view. So your opinion should come in the introduction.
Okay, I see.
Mm. It's a mistake to leave the opinion out until the end. Yeah.
And then the main paragraphs, body paragraph, I mean,
Mm.
it's from the ideas that you selected from your brainstorming.
That's right, yeah. And then when you get to your conclusion, that should be a logical finishing of your essay. There should be no new ideas in the conclusion. It should sum up and reflect what you've already said. And when the reader finishes that essay, they know exactly what you think. There are no surprises in the conclusion. It's a logical summing up.
Okay. Now I understand how to organize my essay very clearly. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Fatma. And if you want to, you can always have a look at my book, Steps to Academic Writing, Mary and Barry, published by Cambridge University Press. That covers academic writing and gives lots of tips and practice.
I think this one is going to be very useful for me in my case, because my main struggle is writing, and it's very specific for writing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fatma, good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
And how did it go? What were your results?
I've just received my results and I'm very, very pleased with them, because it's the first time for me to score 7.5 in writing. How surprising is that?
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Yes, very good. Very good. So you got it. Now you know the secret of the 7.5.
Exactly, yeah. So just planning, organizing your ideas, spend sometimes like 5 to 7 minutes just planning your answer very carefully.
Yeah.
Thinking of what the question is asking you. Yeah.
That's exactly it. And introduction and conclusion.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you very much for your book. I actually used it.
Did you?
Yeah, and it was very useful with the brainstorming thing. And it's actually contains some kind of vocabulary that is useful for task 1 as well.
Oh, good. Good.
I used it as well.
Yeah. Oh, good. So, Steps to Academic Writing, Cambridge, Mary and Barry. That's me. Good. Well done, Fatma.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
And in that book there was like a module answer, so you can read them and get some new vocabulary from those module answers.
Yeah.
It was quite useful.
Oh, good. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Really pleased for you.
Amazing book.
Oh, thank you.
It was very helpful.
So, if you're doing essays, even GCSE, IGCSE, A-level, pre-university, foundation, those sort of areas of work, and you're worried about your essays and how to structure them, you might want to take a look at this book. It's easier than you think. Thank you.